Well guys, welcome to the office rental part 16. In this video what we're going to be doing is of course installing the doorknobs into our newly painted doors, which we painted in 15. And doing of course you know, a bit of cleanup, and then doing the I guess you could call it the setup, where you hook up the TV. You know, bring in all the electronics and, you know, get everything going. So yeah, of course, first things first, to install a doorknob into the door here is using our nice handy dandy Irwin door lock installation kit. Of course, you want to tear into the wonderful, you know, plastic packaging. And then once everything is left, you're left pretty much with this here. And of course, this is your, you know, your back, this is your lock set and all that good stuff that you want. You got your back set you can set here. You have your hole saw itself, and then this is what you need for the striker, to drill out the striker. And of course, this is your mandrel and your drill bit. If you notice, it is slightly different than your average drill bit you find. I've had several of these over the years. It seems I use them once or twice, and then I either lose them or break them, or you know, whatever's right. Well, first things I'm going to say is these are okay, but they do not stand up. Even the metal ones, they do not stand up in your bench vise. They must be a softer steel that's more meant for your power drill over your bench vise. Because I've had the ones for metal doors only, trying to drill a hole in a little bit of a thin actually piece of steel, and it didn't work out too well. Of course, it ended up you know, chewing all these little tips off and all that, and it was not for wood, it was for metal. So yeah, so sometimes you gotta buy a new one in order to replace the old one you kind of broke. So guys, of course, we'll do a setup on here, get everything you know, set up for this door, and then we'll give her a drill. So guys, you take your door lock install kit and you know, kind of give her a center around the existing hole. And of course, repeat the same for the other side. You know, make sure she's sort of centered around the existing hole. Now, what I find that helps me anyways is usually there's a couple of guides in the plastic on the end for screws. So what I find with me anyway is to put a couple of screws in there. That just helps it from getting all you know, out of shape there, right? So, if you're confident and that's where you want her, then, you know, chuck your hole saw into your handy dandy drill, whichever brand you choose, and pretty much go to town on the drilling. Now, I'd recommend using two hands, one on the drill, one on the trigger, just to keep it from, you know, torquing, because sometimes if it does hit something solid, it can spin right out of your hand, and through personal experiences, if it does spin, it can gouge the door, and then that's somewhere you don't really want to go. So guys, of course, I'll drill this, and then we'll see how she looks. So once you got her drilled, what you should be left with is your standard, what do you want to call her, newer style, you know, hole size, right? And left inside your, you know, hole saw kit, you'll have the, you know, matching plug that you just drilled out of the door. And yeah, that's pretty much there is how you drill out the old style knob for a new style hole. Now by sighting this up, looks like this here is pretty close to being where she needs to be. So you can use their handy dandy little tool just to clean this up, just to make sure, or you can use a spade bit if you're sure-handed, or you know, kind of cross that bridge when you get there. So guys, what we'll do is we'll dig in our handy dandy pile of accessories and dig out a brand new doorknob and give her an install. So guys, we got the doorknob all installed, all pretty much good to go. With the striker, it was actually pretty close to being installed there. Just had to gently, you know, chisel away a little. Hindsight, I probably should have done all this before I painted it, but I've never been one to, you know, follow the rules, if you will. Well, right off the first, when it closes, it's not mating up with the original striker. So of course the handy dandy kit did come with one, which is like right here, and when you hold the old striker up to the new one here, they're pretty close to being the same. I might have to chisel back just a bit, and then of course knock out these two front, and then knock out these two front little, you know, whatever's right, and of course then she should mate up with what she needs to be. So guys, you know, let's get at her. So guys, of course, once you've removed the hardware that holds it on, you know, you just give her a pop off. If by chance, like this one, it is glued on with multiple years of paint, put a knife, a flat screwdriver, anything behind it, and just give her a bit of a work, and there she goes. And as you can tell, these walls at one time were like a green color, or at least the trim anyway, including the doors. So once you've got that one off, you can hold up the new one, and you see, of course, the holes line up. So yeah, we will have to chisel this little lip back here off, and chisel, you know, this and this off. So guys, as you see here, the striker is installed. I just had to chisel around and back, and of course knock out those two little front teeth, and she dropped right in. Like I said there, in hindsight, you know, I probably should have done her before paint, but hey, you know, whatevers. So guys, this is moment of truth to see if she'll shut. Well, that sounded better, and I'd say she's latching good. If you wanted to see a doorknob install video, I do have one on my channel. I did install a doorknob on the outside metal door. Other than drilling the hole, the installation of this was virtually identical. Even though it was a metal door, it was still a doorknob's a doorknob, pretty much. So guys, I'll install the knobs in the other three doors, and then pretty much check back in. So guys, a little bit of a check-in for you here. As you see, we got both doorknobs installed, and yeah, they're, you know, opening and shutting, you know, quite well, you know. And of course I had to do a little bit of an adjustment up here with the, apparently I didn't have it quite, you know, sanded enough, so here I am, finished product, and doing belt sanding to get her down. And I had a slight little setback. I put the wonderful newly installed doorknob through the wall. Of course not through, just indented it a bit. So yeah, I've got to re-putty and sand and paint. So I should have put the little handy dandy stopper, which is like this. I should have threw that on the wall, you know, as soon as it was painted. But I didn't know where the doorknob was going to rest. So whatever, you know, 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back type of deal. That seems to be the name of this whole, you know, thing. Well, time to start deciding on the desktop here where I want to locate, you know, things and drill holes and all that stuff. So we'll start by giving her a good old wipe down, getting off all the dust and all the garbage and, you know, stuff like that, right? And you've probably seen these in commercial applications, in even your own desk at home. Well, we got these handy dandy little whatchamahoozits here. You drill them into the desktop here, and we can run your cords through the desktop into the plug-in, which is you know, underneath there. Now I have the laptop and the other laptop, and then you know, my printer, so I'm gonna need 3 ports, as well as I have the monitor, and of course the wonderful cable box, and eventually a DVD player. So I'm probably gonna need, would like to have one here, would like to have another one here, and probably for the printer have one somewhere located, maybe that corner-ish. You know, of course, here comes the figuring, deciding exactly where you want to drill them, because this is a one-shot type of deal. And yeah, they're going to have to, you know, when you're drilling, you want to make sure, sight it up. See there, right where I want to drill at is just over from that bracket. So of course I'm going to have to measure to make sure she's not going to puncture that bracket. I might end up having to move it over, we'll say here, just to make sure she clears. But guys, of course, I'm going to do a bit of figuring here, and then we'll start drilling. So guys, I got all those little holes all measured out. I got the first one here, I'm not sure if you can see it, at 23. I got the second one at approximately another 23 inches from the first one. And then I've got another one here for the printer in the far corner, about 6 inches from the wall, about 5 inches from the wall. And what I'm going to do is start drilling. Of course, I've checked to make sure there's no metal brackets underneath or any of that good stuff. And what I'll do is I'll try to show you the process of drilling, providing the camera don't rattle off the countertop. So let's get at her, and hope we don't screw up. So guys, of course, got the holes all drilled, you know, 1, 2s, and 3s. Again, in hindsight, probably would have been better to have done this before I laid down the linoleum. However, actually, I did think about it, doing it. However, I just totally slipped and forgot about drilling those holes. However, if I would have done that, I would have had to took my knife and cut, and it wouldn't have given this clean of a cut on the, you know, lino, right? So, whatever. So now, pretty much, we can pull off, you know, the tape, because we no longer need that as our guide. And, of course, now we got to clean up all this wonderful, you know, cuttings, and basically drop our little plugs in those holes, and we can start running running cords. Yeah guys, you know, it's coming along fairly well. It's just a matter of hooking up all the electronics now, and you know, we'll be do a test run and make sure everything's running and, you know, the way it's supposed to, right? And then we're good to go. You know, the first thing I'm gonna probably throw up here is gonna be the monitor. And of course, being we did the checking and the fabricating back before we painted, I'm certain the monitor is gonna fit. So, you know, I had these holes already pre-drilled and all that good stuff. Just a matter of, you know, tighten them all down and all that, making sure they're all good to go. And you know, then we can hang the old monitor. Of course, being we've already drilled the hole, the cord should just drop straight down. Same with the you know, HDMI cord and all that good stuff that you know, comes along with it, right? But you know, guys, so like I've mentioned it before a couple times, it's sure you know, when you see the project, you know, come together, it sure you know, brings a feeling of completion. You know, especially something like this that's been you know, a few months in the making. You know, I know we took a break in the middle type of dealy, but still it was a few months in the making. So I'm going to grab the old TV, throw her up on the mount, and see how she hangs. Well guys, a little bit of a final check-in here. Of course you can see she's pretty much dark out. What fitting into the project. Well, I got my equipment all hooked up, you know, the wireless and the laptop and all that good stuff. Haven't done a hookup on the old TV yet, mainly because I can't find my digital cable box. Not quite sure where that went. It's probably been about a year since that was used, so I'll probably even have to call the company even to get it activated or some stuff, you know how that goes. But yeah, once I find that, I'll probably end up drilling a hole through one of these cupboards. Like I said, I might even end up moving you know, the wireless and that up into the cupboard here. Does anybody know if I did that, would that affect the signal of the wireless at all? You know, I would like to probably drill a hole through the bottom cabinet here and then through the side of that one type of dealy, right? And then I could always, you know, leave the cupboard door open while I'm, you know, online, right? If that's a big issue. But guys, of course, you know, she's been a good project, and I thank you for coming along for the ride. You know, seeing this from just a plain, if you will, white old room to what it is today with the cupboards and the doors and the trim and the desktop and, you know, the changes and all that. Well, you know, I got room here for the filing cabinet and room here on this other wall, you know, if I want some shelving, or there's room here for you know, maybe some type of an animal like a reptile or something. I'm not quite sure what the plan of that's going to hold. But guys, you know, that's pretty much it for this you know, office reno project. So as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.